Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our final presentation here at Monsterpalooza. I hope you had a good time. How many are here for the first time to a Monsterpalooza this weekend? Wow. Okay, thank you. How many are here for the last time? Sorry, I had to. First time I told that joke all weekend. All right. Hey, I would save it till the end. So, thank you so much. Glad you're here. We are here to celebrate the ladies of Phantasm with the documentary director Gigi Bannister. And they celebrate 40 plus years and 144 plus women in front of and behind the cameras of Phantasm, and the women who influenced the franchise with a PH. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to introduce your moderator, Ms. Gigi Bannister.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. And then she fell down the stairs. Okay. I'd like to bring out a couple of people to help me out here. You know, the one person that is on a set that you cannot do without is that producer, because he makes things happen, right? So I think you know this gentleman, Reggie Bannister. My first assistant director, Deborah Puerta. Anywhere you want, baby. Anywhere you want. And I don't want to drag it out, but let's go with, okay, we have Samantha Phillips, Alchemy. We have we have Jerry Calvas, who is the granddaughter of the fortune teller. We have Miss Lynn Eastman. Yes, she does love VWs. Anyways, we have some really crazy people. We have Gloria Lynn Henry as Rocky. Huh? Yeah, sure. We have, oh God, I'm like nervous as hell, so forgive me. I should look at the poster for everybody's name. We have Miss Sarah. She's Tanisha, Rocky's sidekick. Who else do we have? Oh, let me think. There's somebody very special to me. What is her name? What is her name? Oh, yeah, that lady. Oh, Cat Lester! And then there's a lady that is really special to me because she has been through a lot more phantasms than I have, and she makes them look good. Her name is, we call her Mel. Her name is Melanie Hay. She's a makeup artist. Then we have the latest misfortune. I feel so intimate. It's like I had her in my attic of my house, which is also my bedroom, which was bloody for 3 months after I killed her off. Miss Dawn Cody. are the ones that we could bring to you. This is the first time that we have had this many ladies of Phantasm on the stage at the same time. Please give them a hand. We have over 40 plus years, we have over 144 women in front of and behind the scenes of Phantasm. And one of the most amazing things, when I started looking at the research behind this amazing fact, was how brilliant the women are and how talented and how educated they are. And oh my gosh, they are, oh God, they have balls, you know? I mean, they got balls. And they make balls, and they make blood, and they kill people, and blow shit up. It's really amazing. And you know, we couldn't do this without our benefactor, Mr. Don Coscarelli. But before Don, I guess that would be BD. Actually, it would kind of be BC, before Coscarelli. Before Don Coscarelli came Miss Shirley Coscarelli, because without Miss Shirley Coscarelli, there would not have been a Don Coscarelli, let's face it. And that was, she was also known as Kate Coscarelli, and that was his mom, God bless her. And she was amazing on a set. Like a lot of the women on Phantasm, they did everything, you know? She lent her house to the project. She supported Don and his cohorts in everything that he did. She encouraged him to be a filmmaker. She also, whenever they needed a script, they took the notes and she took them and put them in a script format. She made the costumes sometimes. She did the wardrobe. She did the makeup. I mean, she was amazing. We don't know anything about that, do we, ladies?
Nothing.
So that's what got me started on this, the idea that we are so resourceful. And Don has carried that forward. He broke the ceiling. Those glass ceilings are worse in horror than any other genre in the film industry. And he really helped us break those ceilings. He made, on Phantasm 4, I worked 14 positions. I got credit for special effects coordinator. And on Phantasm 5, I worked, I think it was, I worked less. I had like 12 positions. And I was elevated, thank God for him, but I was elevated to co-producer. And that's also very rare in our genre. And I was the first female producer on the Phantasm franchise, and I'm forever so grateful to him for that. And I got to, put yellow goop in poor Kat's hair when she was supposed to be going out that night. So,
What a story that was.
oh, I felt so bad for her because I was also special effects coordinator. So. Enough of me, but what we wanted to bring to you was the idea that we are, first of all, we have a saying, you can't say Phantasm without saying fan, okay? So we are bringing a documentary to you. It's still in the works. We hope to have it wrapped, or plan to have it wrapped by December 2020. But we want you to be a part of this as well. So we want to have interviews with fans, and we want you to send us your videos and tell us about your favorite woman of Phantasm, your stories about your women of Phantasm, and why that woman of Phantasm means so much to you, why that character meant so much to you. And if you have a story of inspiration about the women of Phantasm to you, please share that with us. You will then be a part of that documentary and that history that we're making here.
Hey Gigi, where can people send those videos to?
Hey Chad, where can people send those videos? Chad's my DP.
We're working on it.
we're working on it. But you can check with me on my Facebook, Gigi Bannister on Facebook, or at Gigi Bannister on Instagram. And don't go to Reggie's, because Reggie's is all filled up. So,
Isn't there a Women of Phantasm Facebook page?
yes, there is a, thank you, there is a Women of Phantasm Facebook page.
I think I've seen it.
So
I
you
think
can-
I liked
You
it.
can look for
like
updates
it
there
too. I
too.
think I'm
And
gonna
there
like it
is
too.
a fan page, Phantasm Fan Club fan page. So we will be updating all this.
We're also getting an Instagram page this week.
Thank you. My first.
Good to know.
So this is, all by way of saying, please join us on this phantasmic journey that we're on. And that's thanks to Reggie. And now that you've heard me go on way too long, please let me have you get to know my friends, the Women of Phantasm.
Oh God, hi everyone. What would everyone like to know about me, Samantha Phillips? Do you have a question for me, Gigi?
Just for alchemy? No? Okay.
Yes, that man right there.
How long did you lie on that slab?
Ooh, okay, so that slab story. I have a story for that slab story. Okay, I do. Okay, so some people know that I had an on-set romance, which I do not advise, with James LeGros during the making of Phantasm 2. The minute that it was wrapped, of course I stopped having a romance with James LeGros and moved on. Then I got a call, they needed to do reshoots. Oh, okay. And guess what? You're naked on a slab, and he's walking in with a fire blaster thing. So I was like, oh my God, all right. That's sort of awkward, and like, it didn't end well, so there I was. And then I also, this is before my centerfold days, I was not really exactly comfortable being naked on screen. It was my first like major feature role. And I was told, as I'm laying on the slab naked, after having special effects, like a Y incision put into my small chest. So I noticed that there was like a camera dolly that goes sideways across the slab where I'm laying. And then there was like a camera, I think like up here. So I was like, hey, is there like a sheet that I can like put over my nakedness? And they're like, yeah, no, dead bodies are like nude. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then I was like, hey, can you see any of like my vagina hair or like any of that kind of stuff going? Because like it seems like you would. There's a camera there, there's a camera going there. No, don't even worry about it. Okay. So cut to, that scene took a while. That's all I remember of that. I don't even remember like saying goodbye to James. Cut to the premiere, Hollywood Boulevard, and I'm there with my new boyfriend, Bobby Carradine from Revenge of the Nerds, with his daughter, Ever Carradine, his daughter, in a theater. I'd never seen myself on a screen ever in my life. I was like, oh my God, it's huge. And then all of a sudden, there's that scene, and there's the vagina hair, and there's like all the things that I was told you would never see. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember people laughed in the audience because I think some of the people knew that I was not expecting to be able to see all that shit. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm with a child. Like, not a child, but like a teenager, like someone that, I don't know, like, this is the guy I'm dating's kid. So anyway, that's my story for the slab.
Oh, sorry. Debbie, how did you, go ahead and tell them how we first started working together.
Well, we actually met at, we went to college together at film school. We decided later on in my life and later on, well, you've been in film for many years, so that's not even a later on anything. You are a goddess to me. We met in class and we were joking about our boob size and we ended up just becoming best friends in that class. And we've been working together on so many projects ever since.
What size are your boobs, ladies?
Gigi outweighs me in
Depends on the day.
boobs and every angle of those boobs. She's got the cup size bigger than everything. Well, she was Vampy the vegetarian vampire. Does everybody remember that? You
Thank
cannot
God for
compete
push-up
with the
bras.
cleavage. No, you cannot compete with the cleavage of Vampy the vegetarian vampire. That is just nothing I will
Tell
ever be able to
Elvira
do.
that. I'm the Walmart version, cheaper and more accessible.
But she asked me to be first AD on this project, and I honestly was so thrilled the minute she asked, because the reason I watched Phantasm the first time was through her. She told me about it, she told me who Reggie was, I watched it, she gave me a DVD, and I loved it. And then she gave me a DVD of Bloody Bloody Bible Camp, which might be my favorite Reggie Bannister movie ever. I know that we're here for Phantasm, but man, that one was like just awesome. And I've been a fan ever since, and I've been working with her, and I got to go to the Phantasm 5 premiere, which was probably the highlight because it happened on my birthday. So it was really exciting, and I'm just so grateful for everything that I've been able to do through Gigi, so thank you.
Yeah, you're so kind. Thank you. For the first time, Reggie is not kicking ass. He's only taking names. But the amazing names that he's attached to on this, it's so much fun. You should see the twinkle in his eye when he gets to sit next to the ladies. He is the co-host on this project. So, I have a theory. If you stand around on my set too long, you get put to work. So I made Reggie the co-host. He's also my co-producer. And he just has so much fun sitting there and cracking up and cutting in with all the ladies at Phantasm. So what's it like to finally be with the women that you either killed off or didn't get to sleep with or tried to put the moves on or tried your one-liners on that didn't work? So what's that reunion like?
I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I mean, guys, look around. Huh? Yeah, and all the women of Phantasm, Don Coscarelli, he wrote such terrific parts for all the women of Phantasm. And they were able to really get into it, extrapolate their characters, and it's just amazing for especially the horror genre, seriously, and we were talking about Shirley Coscarelli. His mom was just awesome, just one of the strongest women I've ever known besides my mom, and she really was the power behind the machine, and so it's so cool to be up here with all you. I was gonna say all you guys, but that wouldn't be right, would it? No. All you hot babes? Yeah? Is that good? That works, huh? Okay. And it's just a blessing, really.
He even helps me come up with some of the questions, because we go back and we research, and then I remind him I showed him the pictures of some of the behind the scenes pictures and stuff from back in the day. And so he helps me come up with some of the questions that we should ask. So, and they're really in-depth, pertinent questions. So it's really cool. And then we have Miss Terry. Oh my gosh. Boy, she doesn't do the conventions. She hasn't. This is like the first. Is this your first convention? So. You didn't even know about them. Oh my gosh. Yes.
No idea.
Wow, that reminds me of a dear friend who passed years ago. But she was a good friend. But she played Marcia in the blank. No.
That's the only Marshall we know.
Wrong Marcia, no, she was, oh gosh, Elizabeth Brooks from The Howling. That was it. And when I started representing her, she had no clue she had fans from around the world. And you have fans from around the world. Other than Kat and Gloria, I think you are the #1 requested fan or requested guest at conventions. It's like, do you ever know about Terry? Yes, I know Terry. Yes, I'm sorry. I'll see what she can, if she's available, we'll see what we can do. So, welcome to our world.
I'm so amazed.
Well, you're lovely.
Message from a guy in
well,
Sweden.
Huh?
I got a Facebook message from a guy from
In
Sweden.
Sweden,
And
wow.
he knew all about me, and I just couldn't believe it.
It's a little intimidating,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. The other day we had a lady with a hearse. I was gone and we live in the mountains. And there was a lady with a hearse that shows up in front of our house. And we have surveillance cameras. And Reggie goes and he looks and he goes up the stairs to the street and he goes, "Can I help you?" And she's like taking pictures of all the houses and everything. And she goes, "Oh no, I'm a realtor. I'm just taking pictures." And goes, "Do you know who I am?" And she goes, "Oh no, should I?" And he's like, "Yeah, you have a hearse, right?" He goes, "Have you ever heard of Phantasm?" She goes, "Oh no." We're like, right. So anyway, so it's a little creepy, but we have the best fans in the world. We do. And you saw them out there today with the with the hearse shot, right? So welcome to our world. We're so happy that you're a part of this.
Thank you.
I can't wait to do your interview. So welcome to our world.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
What was your most interesting moment on set for Phantasm?
Well, one day I had to sit in the dark while they were shooting that long corridor scene.
Oh, the corridor
Where
scene,
the
yeah.
light shines in my eyes.
Right.
And so I had to sit in there for about 12 hours. And
Oh,
it was in the
gosh.
dark, waiting on the set. And there was a glass bowl full of black widows. Oh, black widows. There was a bowl of black widows.
Bowl of black widows?
Yeah, that they had caught on the
Was
set.
that lunch?
And it was right in front of me. And I was
Oh,
like
gosh.
having to, sit
Wow.
there and look at it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hello, my dear. How are you? My dear Lee.
You got to know those black widows pretty well.
You
I have a Shirley story.
have a Shirley,
Yeah.
so tell us your
So I'm
Shirley
from
story.
Long Beach, and I was in Phantasm, the first one, and Don is from Long Beach, and Reggie's from Long Beach, and I was living this life of musical theater and playing roles like Lori in Oklahoma, and Anna in The King and I, and Nancy and Oliver, and great roles, and kind of getting cast as the girl next door type of thing. And so I had a band and we had a recording studio, and I'm pretty sure Reggie introduced, because Reggie knew my mother. Anyway, it's a long story. But I ended up getting the role of Sally, which is another girl next door role. I was the babysitter for Michael, and as you know, I get caught in the Volkswagen by those hooded, evil dwarf people. And I was telling Dawn today, we never really did see Sally die. So there you go. But the Shirley story was that she did my wardrobe, and there's a scene that didn't make the movie, and my sister is dating Jody, played by Thornberry, and he shows up at our house, and she put me in a teeny tiny little nightie to answer the door.
Like a baby doll?
Like a little, it was satin, a little satin baby doll. And so I just said to Don, I said, "So what's this about?" I mean, because there was no, direction in the script about, am I coming on to him, or why am I, because it's like noon in the afternoon, and what's going on? And he goes, "Just be honest, just play it if you feel it, just do what you do." And so I'm supposed to answer the door, and we have this conversation. He's asking about Jody, And so I'm thinking, well, I should probably make him linger a little, like maybe think about what's really going on here. And so we had our scene. So that, Don told me today he's thinking about putting some scenes back in for a longer version of Phantasm. So maybe that'll make it. But one thing that Shirley told me, and I am doing this to this day, because she was a beautiful woman, and
Fantastically drop dead.
I remember saying, because I just couldn't even believe that she was Don's mother. I don't mean it like that. He definitely takes after his father, we'll just put it that way. And she takes a day, it was a Thursday. Every day she would take Thursday, and it would be her day to do a spa, have a massage, do a facial, get her hair done, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's, I think we women, we Phantasm women particularly,
Yes.
we need that day.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm pleased to be here. This is
I
also
do
my
mine
first.
once every couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know sometimes we miss a week, but this is my first convention for Phantasm, and I'm happy to be here. I love you fans.
Welcome.
I call you the FUFA band. Have you got
Miss Gloria Lynn Henry.
Yes,
Rocky. Do tell about ice on the set.
Oh my goodness. Well, there are a couple moments on the set that make me smile. I think I told, right? I think I told this the other day, and it was my first scene in the entire movie where I come on set, I'm introduced to everyone, and basically I have to take my clothes off. And I have to do doggy style with Reg. And I wanted to be into the scene and make people think that I was really, not so nervous. So I asked Reg to hold a cup of ice for me before each take, and then he would come over and he would cup my bosom, and then I would be aroused.
Perky.
Perky, and I still have those same perky boobs, one of my better assets. So that's one of the highlights that I remember. And if you notice also in the scene when we are trying to get into the mausoleum and we are running across the graves of people, the actual real people, if you notice, I never step on any graves. I literally hop over every grave because it was freaking me out that we were doing that scene. So that's another highlight that I really enjoyed. But my best was, I think I've told a couple of you guys at the signing, was when we were in the laboratory scene and I had the javelin and I was pointing it at the tall man. And Don said, action. And I started to throw the javelin and I started laughing. I mean, I was just laughing. It was, and Don's like, cut. Gloria, it's a very calm voice. What's up? What's going on? And I said, I'm in the movie with the tall man. I mean, like, how freaking cool is this, right? I mean, I was like a teenager and I was getting my butt scared, and now, I'm here. So then he says, okay, all right, let's move on. So then he goes, I get myself together, and then he goes, action again. And I start to cry. And I start crying, and Don goes, cut, Gloria. I said, you don't understand. I'm in a movie with a tall man. And it was just, I realized then, and I told some of you that I'm actually in a moment in my life that I'm creating new memories for Phantasm. Me, a girl who saw Tall Man Angus, and it changed my life. And here I am, making this movie with all these fantastic people and women. It was freaking awesome. And, ever since then, doing the nunchucks was a gateway into martial arts for me. I started going to Cas Magda Institute, and I learned Jeet Kune Do, and I started doing stunts, and I doubled for the first Black Miss Finland. And I was like, wow, okay, that's different. And it just led on to there, and it just gave me a power to know that I can do it.
I really can, and I did do it. And I wouldn't have been able to continue to do it and be in your lives if you didn't come and see us all the time. All right, so.
Sarah.
Yeah. Hello,
She had a
everybody.
very brief appearance on in Phantasm 3, but she kicked ass while she was on the screen, I tell you what. And she gets, a lot of fans have asked me over the years, you know, whatever happens. And I was like, well, I don't know, I guess we dug her up. So we dug her up, we exhumed her. It was so wonderful when I got the response back from everyone. We're still trying to find a couple of them, but gosh, the response was overwhelmingly yes. You know, yes, I want to be in this. Yes, I want to tell my story. Yes, yes, yes. And she was so enthusiastic, and it was like, yes, when can we do it? When can we do it? It was like, you betcha. And then we arranged for Gloria and Tanisha to have the
Interview.
on-screen moment together. So we had it so that we had Gloria, and then they came together, and then we went into her interview too. It was so much fun. It was like, oh my gosh, you know. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Well, I've got to tell you.
I was going to ask you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I've got to share with you my experience of auditioning for Phantasm.
Yeah.
So I'm preparing, for my audition, and I had like 2 lines, right? And I'm going over my lines and going over everything. And I called up a friend of mine who was in New York, Hill Harbor at the time. And I said, hell, what should I do? I just came out from New York. Should I just go in raw? Because I'm supposed to be like this military chick, this tough chick. Should I go in raw, just no makeup, like real hardcore New Yorker? Or should I glam it up a little bit? And he said, baby doll, you're in Hollywood now. So you need to glam it up a little bit, okay? You can do the whole, military thing, but you need to glam it up a little bit. So I went into the audition, and he said, oh, by the way, take no prisoners, right? So I go into the audition.
Keep in mind it was the 90s.
Yeah, right, take no prisoners. So I go into the audition, and now mind you, I just, like I said, moved to Hollywood. This is my first film audition. Walked in, and they're like, okay, we want you to say these 2 lines, this, that, and other things. I say my lines, and I threw myself up against the wall, and I slid down the wall when the ball hit me in the head, and I would imagine all that blood coming out of my head, and I slid down the wall, and I hit the floor, and I started, pulsating on the floor like I was dying, right? And then I got up, and I was like, was that good? Did you like it? Did I do a good job? And they're like, yeah, thank you very much. Well, then I got the call. I got the job, right? And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in Phantasm. I'm gonna be in this movie, and I just moved to Los Angeles. I got this job. I can't believe it. So we go on set, and of course we're going to this mausoleum, of course, right? And I was scared to death because all I could think of was the spirits of all these dead people that are around me, and I'm like wondering about their personalities and their families and where they came from and the history. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm on set, right? But then what really got me was when they said, okay, we're gonna, attach this hose to the back of your head, and all the blood's gonna come squirting out, and the ball's gonna hit you, and they reversed the camera, so it looked like the drill was going towards my head, going away from my head, but then they reversed it when they actually edited it, so it looked like it was going towards my head, the drill, right? And so it was so cool the way they had the tube going around my head and all this blood. I remember standing there, it was just squirting all over the place, right? I was like, this is so fun, this is so cool. And then I was able to hold the gun. I was holding the gun. I had never held a gun before in my life. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was just like, I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna be tough. And then I was done. I was dead. And I was like, I remember watching Gloria shoot the rest of the scene and doing her stuff and everything, and I'm like, man, I wish I could have gone on with Gloria on this adventure. Oh my gosh, she got to do so many things. I wish I could have gone with Gloria. Oh my gosh, right? But it was amazing. I had a great time working on the film. And this is my first Monsterpalooza. This is the first time I've ever done this, and this is awesome. This is cool. I mean, welcome, right? Welcome. I mean, this is amazing. So I just want to thank you all for all of your kindness, your generosity, your support, your enthusiasm. I mean, you all are, you're pretty awesome. Thank you.
Miss Cat Lester.
Meow.
Meow. Meow, meow. You know what they call a group of cats? Who knows? It's a clouder. So, and we've been like herding cats all weekend. It's really fun. It's a lot of fun. Kat and I have been doing so many conventions over the years. We're like sisters, you know, and we try to pack as much into our weekends together as possible, and we have the most fun times with our fans. I mean, they are amazing people. And
Yes,
they
you are.
They really, really are, and they're like family, PHA, and we just cannot emphasize that enough. But I think there's, I think the biggest family is our family. You know, the best family is our family, the Phantasm family. And I remember the first time that I saw Kat on the set, and I'm like, one of these days, I'm gonna have to goop this lady.
Oh, man.
And sure as heck, Phantasm 5 comes along, and she is just dressed to the nines, as she always is. And she does her scene with Reggie, and they had her on this rig. It was just amazing.
Levitating, right?
Oh
With
my
the
gosh.
toenails scratching on the floor.
Yes, and in the film, I mean, there's sparks and all this stuff, but I mean, this rig, I mean, it took like, as usual, it takes 4 men to do what one woman has to do, right?
Yeah, and I thought that's all I was gonna do was levitate.
Yes, yeah, well.
Can I just say, Kat, you have to tell the story of after you were splattered with blood, what happened?
Yes, okay.
That's exactly
All
what I'm
right,
saying.
so
Thank you.
what happened was I do the levitating scene, and I was planning to go out with some friends after we shot. Dawn said it was going to be really quick, and I was wearing, you know, a nice lavender dress, yet another one because Dawn had destroyed the first one. Anyway, so I did that scene. I go back to the makeup area. And I said, well, I guess that's it. And I go, what are you doing there, Gigi? That's a really large bucket of movie blood. I really feel sorry for the next person that has to deal
Yellow
with this. And
movie
she
blood.
goes, you don't know? And I said, no. And so Don had said to me, he comes in and he goes, you know what? I had this idea. You're going to get shocked. And so we went through a couple rehearsals. He had like this old disgusting mattress. I don't know where he found it, but he goes, you know, we're going to pretend like we're shooting you and we want you to just fall back. And I thought, okay, and I'm imagining, well, shot through the head and a nice sexy trickle of blood coming down my décolleté, you know, and I'm like, okay, not a problem. Anyway, Gigi goes, just wait, Kat. So Don calls me out, and he goes, I want you to lay down on the mausoleum floor. And it was, I'm telling you, it was like 2 to 3 inches thick of disgusting.
Yellow blood.
Well, no, not yet.
That was
it's
the red,
just
yeah.
filthy. And he goes,
yeah.
and I go, he goes, lay down. And I said, but isn't there something you can put down for me? No. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be a trooper. I lay down, and here comes Gigi. And she begins to pour the blood partially on my head and all around me. And I'm feeling it seep into my dress and everything. So we do the shot, we're finished with it. And I get up and I go, do you have a towel, Don? No. Do you have a robe, Don? No. I didn't bring an extra change of clothes. He never told me what it was that he had planned. And I go, is there a bathroom, Don? Yeah, you have to go across the cemetery. Now the sun was setting. It was really, really low by now. And he goes, there's a bathroom there. So I'm freezing. I'm totally soaked in this blood. I have no idea what I look like. I walk across the cemetery, and as I'm getting closer to the bathroom area, I'm still outside, and I see a whole family they're sitting on the floor around a grave with candles. And I'm thinking, oh shit, I don't want them to see me. So I'm trying to just sneak by, and all of a sudden one turns around and goes, oh, and then all of a sudden, one by one, they're turning around, they're like, oh my God, and I'm trying to say, no, and when I do this, they're like, ah, so I thought, so I get into the bathroom, and then I see what I look like, and it's horrific. And then I'm thinking, God is sink. Well, the sink was shallow. It was just enough for your fingers and your palms. I was going to get my head in there, and nothing. So I came back and I told everybody the story, and they're on the floor cracking up. And I had to drive home like this. There was no way to wash off. And I had the cops stop me. I had to need an ambulance. I mean, it was just insanity. So thank you, Gigi. Thank you, Don.
I'm so sorry. I kept apologizing the whole time.
The fun of making horror films.
I gooped him, and I lost count how many times, poor baby. And then Don always shoots 5 to 1. He shoots 5 times to get one good shot. And so whenever Reggie knows that there's a goop scene, he knows he's going to get it 5 times or more. And who better to know about gooping and clean up and like that than my dear friend Mel. Now, what was the biggest pull a rabbit out of the hat moment that you ever had on any of the Coscarilla films?
There's just so many of them. Don was just always at the last minute asking for something.
Well, that's his brilliance. I mean, he's always firing on all cylinders.
So at the end of Phantasm 2 and at the beginning of Phantasm 3, the end of Phantasm 2, Reggie is in the hearse. Sam is already, Alchemy is already, and Don comes moseying on over to me and he goes, all right, we decided that Reggie has to be messed up.
It's never good when he starts that way.
That's right. We decided that Reggie has to be messed up because we're going to show one shot of him in the hearse, from the window. Oh, okay. I said, well, what happened to him? Because I can't do the makeup if you don't tell me what actually happened to him in the hearse. She says, oh, okay, well, I guess he got bit on the head, and then he was all scratched up. I went, okay, and then he said, you have 10 minutes. Okay, and I could not use prosthetics because I wasn't set up or prepared for prosthetics. So I did it the old-fashioned way with wax and
Mortician's wax.
Yes, put a big slab on Reggie's head, and I said, I'm really sorry. I have to bite this. It has to look realistic. So will you bend your head down for me, Reggie? And I put the
Let me bite your head.
A big bite. All right, and it was a lot of fun, and I do it, and I it was great. No, it's great. It was one shot, right? It was a one shot. Okay, it was one shot. But when Phantasm 3 opened up, we ended up, it was right after that shot. And I'm like, Don, I didn't use prosthetics for that. I had to reproduce it using mortician's wax every single time, right? So we shot it, I don't even remember if we shot it in one day because it was a long scene. And he would go, there's too much blood, there's not enough blood, the camera angles, it was dark. I watched it the other day and it was like, man, it was so dark. It just looks like you can't even tell. It's like there's slashes, until Reggie like turns to the side and then you can see like those gouges and stuff. But Don was really good for asking me to do things at the very last minute. And on Phantasm 2, the special effects people also would go, oh, we're not gonna do this particular shot today. You're gonna do it. Here, have some stuff. Have some, like one time it was like the chicken meat in the back of the, anyway, and you know, like, here, take some chicken meat. We want you to do this, bye, see you, bye. And I would have to reproduce things like when Ken Tiger, when his ear got cut off, there was a scene that we shot afterwards. So after the ear, they went, we're not going to be here for that scene. Produce it. Bye. Wow. So, but I have a lot of fun working on Don's films. I did 5 films for Don, and I loved every single one of them, and I had a great time.
How many different scenes were you in Phantasm 2?
Phantasm 2. I'm actually in Phantasm 2 a lot, but you never see my face because I was the resident dwarf. So I have, I'm in wigs, I'm in the back of the car, I doubled Sam, I doubled the Liz character. The close-up scene where Liz has the nightmare scene where she's got the hump of the back, that's me in there where they're going. The scene with the rat where she has to like kick the rat. She wasn't there that day. They said, Melanie, here's her pants, and here's her shoes. I was the shortest person on the, here's her pants, here's her shoes. We're gonna put the rat there. I said, you're gonna what? You're gonna put the rat? I said, they said, you have to kick the rat. I said, I don't want to kick a rat. I don't really want to kick this rat. And I said, I'm not gonna kick that rat. They said, well, okay, we'll just nudge it then with your foot. And I'm looking at the rat going, okay. Trying to nudge that rat. So I'm in the trailer. I can't even tell you. I'm in that picture all the time. You just can't see me and you don't know who I am. And I do not get credit for it either. But I watch the movie and I go, that's me.
I have an interesting fact too about Mel. She was so loving when she put makeup on me, and she really made me look good that I hired her later to do the makeup for my wedding.
Oh, she did. And it was a beautiful wedding in Malibu.
In Malibu.
On the beach. It was gorgeous.
She was great.
And she made
was
a beautiful
awesome.
bride.
Yeah.
How many years ago?
16 years ago. Yeah. Still married.
Like I said, we're still a family. And then the newest member to our family, Miss Dawn Cody, who I actually killed in my bed, literally.
She did.
Well, no, I mean, it's literally my bed. No, I didn't literally kill her. I mean,
No, in fact,
I felt so bad for her.
you were like a mama bear taking care of me the whole time. I mean, I don't think at the time I knew you had a military background, but now it all makes sense because she was so worried that because I was waist deep basically in blood. Like her entire bed was
5.5 gallons.
It was a lot. I never got it out of my underwear. Underwear went from whatever white or whatever color they were pink now. Not that I still have them, but anyway, so she was like ordering all these guys around. She was just worried I'd get hypothermia from being in the liquid. And I'm like, really? I mean, we're inside. Like, I mean, it was cold, but she just made me feel so safe and cared for. and in her own house, you know, like having somewhat of a love scene with her own husband. You know, you're just a very, very generous person. And,
Don't
you know.
tell nobody.
Okay, she's not. She's stingy and mean, but.
Bitch.
Okay, now we have to fight. But it was just a wonderful experience. And Reggie, you are such a generous actor. You know,
Thank you.
That.
you are. I mean, you really like you make it easy to do scenes with you because you're just like such a kind,
Reggie.
caring
He's
person.
easy. Definitely easy.
You know, and like a lot of people are saying, I saw Phantasm when I was a teenager and I was scared and, you know, and then I'm very good friends with Dave Hartman. We had worked on a lot of things together before that he directed me in, and I think he felt like working with all these greats, he wanted to bring in like a ringer, like somebody he knew like he would feel comfortable with and that he could give direction to, and we already, you know each other very well, so we have, you know, that shorthand. And I also was like, oh my God, I'm gonna work with these people from this franchise, and you know, it scared the heck out of me when I was a kid, and everybody's so nice and just normal and kind, and like I went to the premiere out here, and Kat was like, you know, like put her arm around me, and like, and I was just like, wow, I felt so welcome. You know, just so welcome.
It's a family.
Gotcha.
Literally, it's a family.
You know, you know, even back there, as each person was walking out, all the other women were cheering for them. Every single person that walked out, you know, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, you really put together something amazing, Gigi. You did.
Thank you, Gigi. Can't do it without you guys. Just saying.
But it wouldn't happen unless you started it.
I wanted to say, talking to the fans this past weekend, the number one comment that I got from a lot of the fans was how real we were and are.
Yeah.
You know, that they can talk to us and we share our stories, and that they don't get that from a lot of other panels or other, you know, movies. And so I just thought that was just excellent, and thank you all for saying that all about it.
Another thing that a lot of the fans commented about every single lady up here is how young we all look, and we look exactly the way we did in the film. I'm serious. It's in the Phantasm water. Something's going on, girl. It's like the reverse curse. We're just getting younger.
It's all about the bow. The painting in the attic. We have that painting in the attic. And then we, you know, there's also this energy that's happening with our documentary. We call it the documentary with balls. But one of the things that is happening is that Deborah and I have put this amazing team together. And one of which is our director of photography, Chad Kohler. Say hi. The guy waving in the back. And he helped me put the poster, the official poster together. Bam. And he has the trailer, which you're about to see.
Now,
And
before that, we need to announce that while he is not a woman of Phantasm, he works just as hard as a woman of Phantasm with two young little girls and the newest little addition he just had. He did all of this on top of having a newborn. So, everyone.
And what's funny is I talked to some other gentlemen, and this is like becoming an occurrence. I mean, gentlemen who choose fatherhood, stay-at-home dads, and then they do things like what Chad does, which is work their asses off doing videography and editing, and they get so good at it, and then they choose fatherhood. And this is back in the day, we have all experienced. We were criticized for it, but this is an amazing synergy that's happening where the tables are turning. So I want to thank all of you, thank all of my folks that are throwing in on this. We can't, there's not a lot of money being thrown around on this project. It's just a lot of sweat equity and a lot of heart, so much heart and soul in this project. And I just want to thank all of you guys for being here. And most of all, I want to thank Elliot and Monsterpalooza for hosting. So with that, I think probably, are we ready to roll it? All righty. They haven't seen it yet.
Give me that face.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
So, this is, any questions? We will keep looking at the Facebook pages for information. We are going to be giving away posters. We're going to be giving away prizes, and most of all, we are encouraging you to be a part of this documentary and to be a part of our world, which you already are, but now you'll be part of the history of the making of Phantasm, the Women of Phantasm, the documentary with balls. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes 2019 Son of Monsterpalooza. What a way to end it. Fantastic, ladies. Thank you.